Most coaches tell you to start slow when you begin working with them. Ease into the deficit, build habits first, they say. I do the exact opposite. Give me the next couple minutes and I'll explain why I start my clients with aggressive cuts in the first 8 weeks, and why this actually creates better long-term results than the safe approach that everyone preaches. My name is Pedro and I spend 40 plus hours a week training people in person. Here's what I've learned. Your first 8 weeks are the highest leverage period you'll ever get. Your motivation is peaking, momentum is there. And most coaches completely waste this window trying to be sustainable from day one. I'm all about sustainability, but here's the thing most people won't tell you. Sustainable doesn't mean starting gentle. It means capitalizing on what's actually working in the moment. The traditional approach, you start with a small deficit, maybe 300 calories, build habits slowly, prioritize habits over results. Sounds smart, right? But what actually happens, week 3 rolls around, you've been perfect with your nutrition, you are showing up to the gym, and the scale has moved half a kilogram. Maybe you start questioning everything. Is this even working? Maybe I need to do more cardio. Maybe I need to cut carbs completely. The motivation that was sky high in week 1, it's starting to crack. Not because you're not committed, but because you're not seeing the result on your investment. And if you are busy, you're sacrificing time, effort, and mental energy. You need to see that it's worth it. Here's what to do instead and why it works. I start aggressive. Not reckless, but aggressive. We are talking a solid deficit, enough that you are seeing changes in the first 2 weeks. The scale is moving, your clothes are fitting differently, and people are starting to notice. But Pedro, isn't that unsustainable? Here's what everyone gets wrong. We are not trying to maintain this pace forever. We are capitalizing on the one period where you actually have the capacity to push hard. Week 1 motivation is a resource, use it strategically. Think about it. When else in your journey are you going to have this much drive? When else are you going to be this focused, this willing to be uncomfortable? Never. This is your window. Let me break down why aggressive cuts in the first 8 weeks create better long-term results for you. First, your motivation is peaking. You just invested money, time, and emotional energy into making a change. You are ready to feel uncomfortable. You expect it to be hard. So yes, it's going to be challenging, but you are mentally prepared for that. I meet you where you are, not where I think you should be. Second, fast results build trust. When you see real changes in the first month, and I'm talking visible, measurable changes, you trust the process. You trust me, but more importantly, you start trusting yourself. That confidence becomes a foundation for everything that comes after. When you lose 4 to 6 kilos in the first 8 weeks, you're not questioning if this works anymore. You know it works because you've seen it. Now, we can have conversations about sustainability, about building from there, and about transitioning into different phases. But we've earned that trust through results. Third, you are building the most valuable skill, adherence under pressure. If you stick to an aggressive cut for 8 weeks, you've proven to yourself that you can be disciplined when it matters. That's not just physical, that's a massive psychological win. You're not a person who can't stick to anything anymore. You just did. Now, here's a critical part that everyone misses. What comes after? After 8 weeks of aggressive cutting, we don't just keep grinding. That would be stupid. This is where the strategy comes in. You've dropped significant body fat, you've proven that you can execute, you trust the process. Now we can transition into a building phase, and here's why this matters. You start that bulk lean. When you bulk from a leaner starting point, you have more room to grow. You can actually build muscle effectively without just getting fluffy. Plus, psychologically, you've got a buffer. You know you can lose fat when you need to because you just prove it. Compare this to the opposite approach. You spin your wheels for months with minimal results, never really committed into cutting or building, and end up frustrated and stuck. That's a sustainable approach most coaches sell. Is this approach going to be comfortable? No. Will you feel hungry sometimes? Yes. Will you need to make sacrifice for 8 weeks? Absolutely. But here's the question. What's actually harder? 8 focused weeks of discomfort that produces real results, or months of spinning your wheels wondering if anything is working? You came to me because you want to change. You are expecting it to require something from you. I'm not going to protect you from the very discomfort that creates transformation. You've got 8 weeks where you're maximally motivated and willing to push. We use it. We get you results that matter. We build your trust. Then I teach you how to maintain and build from there. That's how we break the quit cycle. Not by starting gentle, by starting strategic. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.